Hello, and welcome to the Let's Play of Chrono Trigger, one of the best games ever made. Chrono Trigger was released in 1995 by Square Enix. Um, it was a accumulation of a team known as the Dream Team, at least in the Japanese game developers realm, uh, having talents such as Hironobu Sakaguchi, who created Final Fantasy, the creator of Dragon Quest, Yuji Hiro, Akira Toriyama, which is known for Dragon Ball Z, and composers like Nobuo Uematsu. Uh, Given all these players, you can guess that this game was destined for greatness. I started playing Chrono Trigger in 2001. It was, I was looking for something new. I was never really a fan of RPGs until I met Chrono Trigger. I was really bored with some of the games that I was playing with. I looked at it. I asked my friend, "Hey, let me give that a try. Let me see. Let me just see." No regrets. That was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Uh, Chrono Trigger's gameplay was considered revolutionary. One of the things that was considered revolutionary was its active system. In the beginning of the game, you'll be able to choose between active or non-active. Basically, the difference is active means, as you can see, Chrono and Lucca are two of your main characters, are waiting for their turn. Now, their wait can vary depending on their active bar, as you can see in the bottom right corner. As you progress through the game, you can get more points or get different items to increase the speed in which that active bar regenerates. Therefore, you could have 5 different turns before your enemy can even attack. But this also goes for your enemy in the future. So you definitely want to strategize in trying to make sure your active bar replenishes quickly enough throughout the game, or you'll basically get your ass whooped. You want to make sure that's always on point. I think this is one of my favorite features, and why I was open to other RPGs as I move forward and trying out different games. This active system is similar to, you could say, action adventure, without being an action adventure. The turn-based isn't quite my style, but even though this is similar, this is a little bit different. I feel I have more control over it because I can actually contribute to the speed in which I want to attack. If I want to attack more often, then I will spend more points, more experience points towards my active bar. Another cool thing about Chrono Trigger's gameplay is some of the tech moves. Chrono tech moves are basically their special moves. They all have their own individual tech moves. Chrono's lightning, Lucca. To the right is fire. Morrow is water. And as other characters definitely have their own type of magic or techs, or however you want to think of it. But one of my favorite parts of Chrono Trigger when it comes to gameplay, when you actually battle people, your enemies, excuse me, you actually can combine different techs. And what that means is, in other games you can also, like, combine, let's say, Lucca's fire with Chrono's sword. Chrono has a tech that is called Cyclone. She can shoot fire at the sword, and which will cause more damage to a greater amount of enemies. So if there's a lot of enemies on screen, you would probably want to level up these two characters, because those two characters have great techs together. That's not to say that Chrono mixed with Frog's tech is not as good. It's just that fire, at least within 600 AD, seems to be more powerful. All 7 characters have techs with each other. And with that said, all 7 characters have different techs with all other characters. And what that means is there's triple text. Triple text basically means Chrono, Lucca, and Frog all have attack together. And any characters you switch out between any 3 of your slots available allows different text to be displayed. I'm just gonna go to the secret room here. Another great thing about Chrono Trigger is the story. Right now we are trying to find Queen Lean, or Queen Lenny. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that, but basically Chrono, he woke up late for the Millennium Fair, and he was, supposed to look for Lucca. Lucca has an experiment, and she wanted to show it off at the fair, and it was having some issues. So Chrono, just running late, runs to the fair, sees all the great things, and eventually runs into Morrow. Morrow's pendant drops on the ground. Chrono finds it, hands it to her, being the nice guy that he is, and Morrow then says, "Hey, you seem like a nice guy. Let's hang out." Chrono then begins to try to impress her, doing different competitions, finding people's cats, buying candy, different things like that, which all play into the game story eventually. You find out later that Chrono, somebody was watching Chrono do all these things, or people were watching Chrono do all these things, and he actually gets blamed for the kidnapping of Morrow, which she turns out to be Princess Nadia, but for some reason, or she didn't tell anybody that. She didn't want anyone to know that because she was looking for some adventure. And right now, so once they actually go to the teleporter, Morrow, with her necklace, jumps into the teleporter, tries it, and ends up actually going back 400 years into the past. Chrono, being the brave person that he is, goes back in time to try to find her. Lucca, being the scientist that he is, or she is, also tries to figure out a way to manipulate this portal, and will join Chrono later, which she has in the past. Once they get there, they find another guy named Frog, and he's the protector of the world. And he thinks something's afoot, which it is. It appears that the Chancellor actually kidnapped the Queen for his own conniving reasons, and they need to actually go back and find the real Queen, because Morrow disappeared once they found her back in 600 AD. It's a little complicated. It's one of the most disputed parts of the whole Chrono Trigger story, of how is that possible? But the story is basically 99% possible. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. It's time travel. You subscribe to whatever philosophy you want to subscribe to. As you can see, we're in another battle here. This battle is we now have Frog at the in our midst. Frog has the power to heal, which is very great. Another thing I like about this combat system is that if you time it just right with anyone's tech, or I should say an attack tech, you can hit multiple enemies at once. So I think it showed it earlier, if I was able to, or if those enemies were able to look closer, I would actually hit all 3 enemies. As you can see here, I'm about to hit both of these guys. Yep. You do relatively less damage, but you do damage on more enemies, and I think that to me is a better tactic. But if this only affects one enemy, like right now, you're going to do a devastating damage. Look at that, done. He's done. This guy's done. It's too bad. It's a good fighter. So yes, this is Chrono Trigger, one of the best games ever created. I highly suggest it. The new game plus the magic, the text system, the non-random battles. It's all a part